in the 1920s and damaged in a fire last summer. I understood my mother's love for and loyalty to the place, but I couldn't think of a single practical reason for repairing it. It wasn't about practical, Quentin hastened to add whenever the subject came up. It was about history and architecture and art. To move the discussion along, he'd found an architect, an expert in early examples of shingle-style homes in Maine, and today he was bringing her to Morrow Island to walk through Wynn's home and offer her educated opinion. Her name was Wyatt Jayne, and I'd researched her on the internet. She had both architecture and landscape design degrees from Harvard and a string of academic articles and stories in glossy magazines featuring breathtaking photos of homes she'd renovated. While I was against spending the money on Wynn's home, I had to admit Quentin had found a highly qualified person, at least on paper. Ahoy! The Flittermouse, Quentin Tupper's sailboat, motored into our dock. A slender woman stood on the deck behind Quentin. She wore large dark glasses and a scarf over her head, Jackie Kennedy style. Chris ran to help them in. My mother came out of the gift shop and walked with me to the dock. Quentin threw Chris the lines and turned back to help his guest. Her dress, an elegantly cut shift in bright pastels, wasn't built for stepping off a sailboat. As Quentin handed her off to Chris, she fell into his arms. He danced a two-step before setting her down carefully on the wide planks. "Whoa, thank you." She smiled her approval at Chris, who smiled back. "No trouble." Quentin disembarked immediately behind her. He was a big man, sandy-haired and dressed as always in his uniform of khakis, tailored blue cotton shirt, and boat shoes, sans socks. 10 years older than me, he was 41 to my 31. "Hello," he said, beginning the introductions. "Wyatt, this is Julia Snowden, the owner of the island and its magnificent home. Her daughter, Julia Snowden, and Chris Durand, a friend of the family." The woman took off her sunglasses and kerchief as Quentin continued. "Snowdens, this is—" "I know exactly who she is," I cut him off. "Julia Snowden!" the woman cried. "Hello, Susan." What a funny coincidence. I had no idea. All the paperwork Quentin sent me said Jacqueline Snowden. I never put two and two together, she said. Neither did I, especially because Quentin told me your name was Wyatt. It's Susan Wyatt Jayne. I use Wyatt professionally. You two know each other? Quentin couldn't have looked more delighted. I gave him a tight-lipped smile. We went to school together. Wyatt nodded her agreement. We were a pair, weren't we? I was editor of the yearbook, and Julia was editor of the newspaper. I was captain of the debate team, and she was... Susan looked around, suddenly out of parallels. On the debate team, I filled in helpfully. An alternate on the debate team, Wyatt corrected, once and apparently still a stickler for detail. I'd heard you'd gone to business school. We all expected so much from you. We thought you'd be running Wall Street by now. Yes, well, I looked down at my jeans and work boots, covered in dirt from a day of hard physical labor. It hasn't turned out that way. I can't wait to hear all about it. Wyatt grabbed me by the arm and then pivoted to my mother, extending her hand. Jacqueline, may I call you Jacqueline? What an honor and privilege it is to view this magnificent home. We hope it will pique your interest sufficiently that you'll do more than view it. My mother gave Quentin a conspiratorial smile. Wyatt turned to Chris. And what is your role? Quentin jumped in. Chris is a skilled home renovator who aided me in my initial assessment of the damage to Wynn's home. He helped me believe it could be brought back to its former glory. Quentin paused and cleared his throat. And Chris is a particular friend of Julia's. That last statement caused Wyatt to give Chris another look. I watched her take him in, from the tousled light brown hair to the arresting green eyes, the dimpled chin, the broad shoulders, and the muscled chest barely